Hey there, friends. Big hello to everyone. My name is Igor. Gravity engraving channel. We looked at this material a little bit earlier. How to do it all, prepare it, how to set it up, how to, I don't know, shape it, how to make the cutouts. So basically, this material is already on the channel. Today, we're going to be doing the engraving itself. I'm using the bottom layout. So I've already told you, shown you, and demonstrated the whole preparation. Let's switch over to ESCAD. The layout is already loaded in ESCAD. Our layout is a solid vector, a monoblock from a group of objects. Press Ctrl U and we get a subgroup of objects. The first thing in the subgroup of objects we had was the merge templates that created the black outline, and then the group of objects responsible for a particular color, like yellow and blue, for example. Press Ctrl Z, yellow and blue, so they're separate as a group of objects. Ctrl Z again, here we have. I need to select it specifically. There. So two groups of objects, yellow and blue. Our task today is to do the engraving. Engraving according to this template. Again, there's a little nuance here. We're only interested in the sampling of inner parts. And we're not going to touch the black color. Yes, there is, of course, an option to, say, deepen the black color, but then the token itself won't look very interesting. What else I'll do to make it easier to process this octagon later on a grinder or carborundum or other tools, we'll do an edge cut, so every pass plus a cut. The size of our token is 30 millimeters. We'll engrave no more than 28 millimeters, so 28, apply. There, and we have about a millimeter left on the edges on average, so that's exactly why I'll do. Select the outer contour, go to Distribute, Edit, Change Curve Point, and set Inside. Uncheck the box, so it'll be outside, and set it to, let's say, 0.8 millimeters. Press Apply. A bit much. Control Z. Look again. Editing. Change Curve Point. Uncheck the Delete box. 0.8, 0.6 millimeters. Press Apply. Got it. This point will be responsible for the edge cut. This point will link to a marker, let's say hypothetically marker number 6, uncheck the default box, I'll set the speed to 400 and the power to 40. Frequency GPT 50LP, frequency 20 kilohertz, Q pulse at 200 nanoseconds. We're not changing these parameters. In the extra parameters, I'll change jump speed to 2000, wobble mode since we have a 0.6 offset. Let's set it to 0, and here we'll set it to 0.3. Let's even go with 0.4 millimeters and a distance between circles of 0.02 millimeters. So it seems we've set up the edge cutting, everything looks good. Along this cut edge, this border, we'll proceed with processing this material, this little token. And now let's set the fill for the engraving. So we select one of the layers, either layer 1 or the other. It doesn't matter at all. In fact, we can even fill both of them identically so that everything works smoothly and correctly. Go to the fill settings and create a worker. Let's use a marker, for example. Let's use the same marker that's already selected, marker number 1. I'll set the density to 0.02 millimeters. Again, the specific quality of the material removal isn't the priority here. What matters is simply that the material is removed. Fill it once, link it to marker number 1 as well, and set the parameters. Let's set the speed to 2000 and the power 60. The frequency is 20, which is nominal for a 200 nanosecond Q pulse, but I don't agree with that setting. We'll work at 60 kilohertz, so there will be some overlap. Power 60, 60 kilohertz, Q pulse 100. We won't change these parameters. In the advanced settings, everything looks more or less fine. Now, another layer, marker number 1, well, let's just stick with marker number 1 for now. Set everything the same way, marker number 1. Let's tweak the values slightly so they differ in terms of depth or material removal. Let's set the value to 70. The frequency range will be 60, Q pulse 100. This will just remove a bit more material and give it a slightly different look. Or we could try something else interesting. Raise the frequency range to, say, 150 and lower the Q pulse to 60. Though I think at 150 kilohertz, the Q pulse is around 30. That would make the surface removal completely different, and it would look a bit different too. In that sense, the visual appearance of this layout might even be more interesting. So select this hexagon, check the contour frame box, and let's move to the engraving area. With any engraving, you always need to pay attention to the surface quality, specifically how well it's been prepared. Here, of course, it will now be highlighted with the deviation angles and everything else that's necessary. And there's one more detail. We have the wobble mode on, so there's a slight risk this template might go outside the frame of our layout. I always recommend doing the first test at low power, otherwise you might miss the mark or even burn your work table. For instance, I can see that this corner here is going beyond our set limits. But now, more or less, everything seems to be in place. All right, let's check it. Again, I can see a shift here. It's a minor one. So basically, we need to clearly understand that we didn't hit where we needed to. F1 again. The best option, of course, is to use adjustable tables after all. They really help out a lot in that regard. I have one somewhere too, but I do this kind of work very, very rarely. Press F2 again, and there should be an adjustment for the areas we hit. Yes, there it is. So basically, we're more or less hitting our targets. Now, select all three templates, the three layouts, and start the engraving. Let's do a quick wrap up at the end about the hard and easy parts, what worked and what didn't. Basically, the 3D was done quickly in about an hour using Lightburn with auto rotation. Well, again, I didn't fuss much with the parameters. I just set it up, adjusted it, and started it. Plus, 3D in Lightburn fully contours the object along all six sides. So, well, it turned out quite well. The 3D itself looks pretty good too. Again, here under the bright light, and plus, again, at maximum magnification. Let's start with that. Regarding the backside, everything seems fine here too, until one point. The moment when I split the engraving into, let's say, simple engraving and engraving with some tweaks. So the tweaked engraving actually resulted in a very dark color later on, which couldn't be removed by anything at all, and consequently, it created an uneven color during painting. So ideally, ow, nice job. Ideally, these parts should have been roughly this color, like a light blue or, say, seafoam green. But in the end, it didn't work out. Again, I was rushing through it. It's also hard to get into these tiny details, but in theory, it's possible. So this thing took us, let's see, 1 hour for one side plus 1 hour for the other, 2 hours total. And then there's the post processing of the edges and ends, so the polishing took about another hour or so of my time. Again, right here, I didn't overthink it too much. I mean, it could have been even better, but is it needed? Who knows? That's it. And as always, give me a thumbs up. I'll share the layout if we get enough likes, at least 80% of the total number of views we receive. Then I'll post all of these layouts entirely in full on the Telegram channel. I'll post the little guy on the Telegram channel for sure. The height map and 3D model will be available to you. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up, and I wish you all the best and plenty of cash, as they say, and bye to everyone now.